Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs number 101, continuing our series of American Neo-Classicists, wonderful composers who the United States would just as soon forget because God knows you're not going to hear most of them performed with any regularity in the concert halls of the major American orchestras. Now, I know I've seen some of these smaller orchestras are doing wonders performing some of the lesser known repertoire, and audiences just love it. Gee whiz, isn't that a surprise? Because it's great music and you play it and people simply enjoy it. What a crime it would be if our major orchestras did something like that systematically. Anyway, these are programs that you're probably never going to hear live, although maybe some isolated works and composers may pop up from time to time. I have seen it happen. It has happened, actually. So program number 101 begins with Roger Sessions, his suite from The Black Maskers. This happens to be an absolutely amazing piece of music. And if you like, for example, the incidental music of someone like Prokofiev or one of those guys, you have no problem with Sessions. Sessions was famous, of course, because he began life as an American neo-classicist and wound up as a dodecaphonicist, as an atonalist. I like his music irregardless. Oh, how can I say that? Irrespective of its harmonic complexities, he was just a fine composer. He himself said he never wrote a tune he couldn't sing himself. Then again, he couldn't carry a tune, notoriously, so who knows what that means. But really, he was a major composer who's never going to be popular because the style is simply too gnarly and difficult, but it's really worth getting to know, I think. And the Black Maskers, thank you, precedes his atonal period, but it's sort of on the way. It's a bitter, kind of sardonic piece, full of lean sonorities and biting harmony. It's like having a grapefruit for breakfast. You know, it has that tartness that I really enjoy, both in citrus fruit and in my music sometimes, you know? So you're really going to enjoy that. After that, we're going completely in the opposite direction and doing Leroy Anderson's Piano Concerto. I love this piece. It's entirely based on Rachmaninoff's Second Piano Concerto, at least the opening movement is. And it's phenomenal. It has just wonderful surging tunes and a certain Latinesque quality in the second movement that's just delicious. And a tune in the finale that you will never get out of your head. I mean, it's well, never mind. It's tremendous. It's been recorded on disc a couple of times. It's his only work in large classical forms. So, I mean, to the extent he wrote something in a large form, he was a neo-classicist or a neo-romanticist, whatever, and it ought to be played like every 5 minutes, and not just at Pops concerts. It's only like 20 minutes and a bit long, and it's such a crowd pleaser. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Anderson himself had questions about it. It wasn't published in his lifetime. He wanted to revise it. He never got around to it. But it's a great work nonetheless. And then we run off to intermission after the concerto, and we come back for the second half. It begins with Henry Cowell, his hymn and fuguing tune number 10. Now, this is the one that Neville Marriner recorded on that marvelous Argo disc that has like the Ives Third Symphony and some other stuff like that. It's still completely unknown, virtually unknown. He also did Creston's A Rumor, which is a delicious little piece. But it's a wonderful work. Now, the hymns and fuguing tunes are based on the early works of American colonial composer William Billings. And they are exactly what they sound like. They're hymn tunes followed by sort of contrapuntal workings. And they're delicious. We sang some of these fuguing tunes when I was in my high school glee club. A virgin unspotted by prophets foretold shall bring forth the Savior as now we behold. You know, things like that. They're just wonderful. And Cowell himself started out life as an avant-garde person and then became sort of a neo-classicist. His evolution as a composer is very, very interesting. And he is one of the major American voices that remains to be uncovered, because he had many different styles and ways of writing music, and he was completely uninhibited and open to everything that came his way. So he's impossible to pigeonhole, but he was an enormously attractive composer who wrote tons and tons and tons of music that still hasn't been sorted through. So we've got to work on it, and at least this is a small way to get started with that. And finally, Ned Rorem's Third Symphony. The late, great Ned Rorem, who just passed away this past year. He was best known as a songwriter, but he wrote many works in larger forms, including a terrific range of concertos, tone poems, and 3 symphonies, of which the third is certainly one of the great American symphonies. A fabulous work. It was championed by Leonard Bernstein. There's a live recording of Bernstein's recording of it. And recently, Jose Cerebriere has done it, thank goodness, for Naxos, in a marvelous series of discs devoted to Rorem's music, and it makes an absolutely fabulous concert finale. It's a great, great work. My goodness, why doesn't it get played more often? I don't understand it, but we can at least listen to it at home. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.